the blonde phase?
I was
Oh no.
That's good. That's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's working fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I will speak for you, Brad.
I have it from here.
Okay, I think we're good. Sorry, we had some audio issues right here at the start, but thank you for joining us here at our AMA and kind of WonderCon closeout. We've got a wonderful group of folks here together, and we're very happy about where we are with the project, and just in general, everybody that's come around, and we feel like we're really a big family at this point, because this project's been going on for a while now, but that's okay. It's actually made it a lot better, and I wanted to thank everybody that's here today and that has been part of the project. Whether you're a Kickstarter backer, play tested it once at Gen Con, or what have you, your input and everything that you've done has made this project what it is today. So I really appreciate it. And we have a great cast, so I'd just like to introduce everybody, and I'll actually let everybody introduce themselves. So we'll start over here from me for Linda.
Hi, I'm Linda Fury. You might know me online as Gate Gabber or The Gate Gabber. I am co-producer on Dial the Gate. Before that, I wrote some episodes for season 1, and that's about me.
Yeah, Jenny?
Jenny Stiven, and I've been with Stargate for about 20 years now, and was lucky enough to be able to start working with Wyvern Gaming almost from the start of getting the license to do the RPG. And as a big old nerd and geek, this has been just a real treat to be able to work with them and do some liaison with MGM, and now just be able to help with activations and events, all the good fan outreach.
Thank you. And Bill?
Hey, I'm Bill, Gatemaster and playtester since the first private playtest back in November 2019. I have just finished, running live to tape a cast game over on Wyvern Gaming's channel.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that for sure. Matt, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Matthew. I'm a 3D artist, and I do environment art and D&D maps.
Sam?
Hi, I'm Samantha Lawyer. I am one of the owners of Wyvern Gaming. I am the Chief Customer Officer. So usually if you send us an email through our website, gamesmaster@wyverngaming.com, you're probably going to be speaking with me first, and then I would distribute the emails to the guys as needed. I am a huge Stargate fan. I used to watch Stargate with my grandfather back when it came on TV. It used to be, me and my grandfather used to love sci-fi stuff, and so we would watch it on TV along with all the other shows, Star Trek and Babylon and all those other. It was in our mix of stuff that we did, just the two of us. So it was part of my childhood.
Thanks, Sam. Lee?
Lee Alley. I was one of the playtesters, then became an episode writer for the Living Campaign, and now showrunner for the Season 2 Living Campaign of SG-1.
Yep. And Mac?
Hi, I'm Mac. I'm the lead designer, developer, whichever, for the game. I'm the one that writes the rules and stuff, and I'm the name that Lee and Matt take in vain, or Lee and Bill take in vain.
Oh, goodness. One of the
Who writes things like this?
Yeah, who does that? That's crazy. Why do you... guns don't act like this.
Yeah, well, you ever watch TV? They don't walk like that on TV.
Exactly. They do on TV.
Yeah, they do on TV.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that this group of folks here will show you is that we're a family, in that if you want to get involved in the project, all you have to do is get involved, right? If you just reach out to us on our Discord channel that we have, and I think it's linked actually in the description of this particular stream. Reach out to us if you want to get involved with the project. We're more than happy to bring that on, and the more the merrier. This is a more than anything. This is a fan run project, I would say. We obviously, Wyvern Gaming is a professional gaming company. We've got 5 other games under our belt that we've done Kickstarters for, but for the most part, we are fans of Stargate, and this is what we do, and this is what we love doing, and we love bringing everybody in on it that is part of it. So that's kind of what it is. So the purpose of this was to kind of start out with some questions. So did we want to, Jenny, did we have any questions that we want to answer?
Yeah, actually, there was one right off the bat. So this came through Discord quite a bit, so I'm going to just bring this forward right away.
Yep.
What's the status of the core rules book?
Yes, of course.
Just to start you off right away.
Right
Just
off the
kick
bat,
off.
that particular one.
I'll
So
start writing it any day now.
Don't
Mac-
need to throw you guys in the deep end, but I know you know this answer. It's super easy. So.
Mac, you got it finished, right?
Yeah, we're done. It's in its final passes. There might be a few small changes. We haven't done to the point where we've got the page layout exactly where it's going to be, so there's still a lot of at symbols instead of page references.
So
but
basically,
it takes about 3 hours to get it where it needs to go
yeah,
for print now.
No, so where it really is, and yes, what Max said is true, but it is currently with MGM. It's basically a finished book at this point, and we're waiting for final approvals and edits from the licensee, because it's important that it fits into the world of Stargate, right? We want to make sure that this is right. So they're doing their final walkthroughs of all the book. It's 360 plus pages, so that takes some time. What was really cool was that we reached out on Kickstarter and we asked all of you guys that were part of that project to look through the book and give us your feedback, and we got over 2,000 edits from the book.
And only like 1,500 of them were commas.
Or apostrophes.
Or apostrophes.
I was going to ask you guys that before when you sent me that news a couple of months ago, and I was going to say, okay, so what were the grammar ones? What were the
issue? There is an issue there with me, in that when I'm generating rules and I'm juggling all of the places rules exist, the rules for which sentences need commas and where, they're not at the forefront of my mind. So there's always an editing pass where we have to go through and
and
find
certainly not your core rules book when you're doing the first, second, third, 50th draft that you guys have gone through. Your focus is on other things, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, all of those edits have been incorporated in the book at this point, and that's with MGM, and we're just waiting for their feedback. So they're going to have a few changes here and there that we got to make. So realistically, we're looking around the end of April-ish, is what I'm guessing, to get a...
And then can you take people through, actually, let's back up a little bit. Since I had us dive in the deep end, can you take people through how the process is going to go for the production for the rest of this year? Because I think that would help all the fans a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So once we have final approval and the book is like 100% done, at that point we can generate a PDF of the book. So that will be digitally sent out to all the backers in Kickstarter, and actually will be put up for sale on StargateTheRPG.com pretty much right away. And then once we have that, then we send it off to press, and we will get that printed, and that takes a little bit of time, obviously, and then it becomes a physical product at that point, and then it has to get shipped to our fulfillment companies. Then once it's at our fulfillment companies, which are regionally based, they're all over the world. We've got one in the U.S., one in Europe, and one in the Asia area. And once it's at those places, then it gets shipped out to the individuals. And also following that, it would go into your local game stores. So that's the physical product. Now, all the digital stuff, as it becomes available and as it's gets finalized and approved, we're going to send those out digitally as they become available.
talk about that really quick because we got this question in Discord quite a bit over the weekend, and I think most of the fans who have been playtesters and been with you and our backers understand. But if you could explain the difference between the core rules book and the living episodes and how those are going to be digitally released for any new fans that are coming, especially Stargate fans that maybe are new to D&D, that would be really helpful. Or
Sure.
5th edition in particular.
Sure. So the core rule book itself is obviously it's the rules that govern the game. It's the thing that Mac's been most focused on. It is the rules on how to play the game, how to create a character, how to be a gate master, which is the person telling the story, and the progression of your character through the process. And then the living campaign, I'm going to actually throw this to Lee.
Oh, I gotta pay attention now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I'm glad it was you, not
I'm
me.
going to hold up cards for you guys. Please.
All right. So you want me to talk about the living campaign?
Yeah. Like what is the living campaign? What
Sure.
do people get for as part of the living campaign, and what is it?
Sure. Living campaign. So I guess, when you buy your D&D book or other role-playing game, you have a book you can play a whole campaign in. Living is a little bit differently, where as you play each episode, each session throughout the game, your choices that your players make are written down and kind of given to us. So then we have an idea of where to go with the next part of the story, and then we continue doing that and building the season, like the storyline that we have for the main season, built around: did you fail on this thing? Did you get to the item that we needed to protect Phoenix Site from the Goa'uld? Stuff like that. Then, if the majority of people who play this episode or session, they succeeded, awesome. Then we got the Tritonium to rebuild the Iris or something like that.
Yeah, your season storyboard must look like a pachinko machine.
I know.
Yeah, that's the other challenge too, of like how far do we go?
It's like
with
a
that?
choose your own adventure
Well,
nightmare.
and remember, you've got
Spread
writers.
out over 1,000 gaming tables
Yeah.
every weekend.
Spaghetti
Nice
flowchart.
And you've got writers everywhere. So you have Linda, and you had Allison, and you've got Lee, and you've got all the writers too that are, especially during COVID, all around the world. So I think the writers' room was global, international, virtual, and then each individual person's walls were probably looking like, Carrie's homeland map with all kinds of yarns connected.
Yep.
So Lee, about the living episodes, I think one of the things that Stargate fans would appreciate is that you mentioned a season, and to a certain extent, that is what the storyline and the campaigns are trying to mimic. Is that it's
definitely.
within the TV universe, right?
Exactly. That is exactly a tone that we want to get. Is the idea that we're playing, you guys, everyone's playing their own TV show right alongside of SG-1. It just never aired, so you guys are the heroes, really, that can then possibly interact with some of those SG-1 named people that might drop on in. You might need to help them out. They might give you a mission or something like that. You might revisit a certain episode that you saw in the 6th or 7th season and assisting them. Like, you're just off screen. You weren't on screen, or there was a deleted scene or a deleted plot. Like, that was a really good plot line, but we had to get rid of that. It can only be so long. So that's a challenging part of doing that, but I really like those restrictions. Being able to play with the Stargate world. It's a lot of fun.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Sorry. No. I was just gonna say I had a lot of fun in my home game writing bottle episodes where you don't leave the base because that's the only set you can afford.
Real quick for a question that came through on our YouTube channel. It says, for the living campaign, will episodes be released weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? I'll go ahead and answer that one. We'll have 13 13 episodes released over 12 months. So it'll be about maybe once a month, a little bit less than that, depending on time frame.
Because what's important is when you're done playing an episode with your group, then you go online and you want to make sure. Yeah, you want to record everything that your players did. Did they do this one thing? Okay, they get a mission point or experience point there, so they can help level up their character. And also, then the important part is did you get that mission goal, or did you fail? Did everyone die in this episode?
Right.
And yeah, and so we want to keep track of that by going to our website, and then as we get that information, then if a lot of people fail something, if the majority of people that play this episode and they say fail completely for whatever reason, of course,
Then that'll affect future episodes.
And like me that does the kamikaze stuff and my whole
yeah, like
business
let's
is
just,
so
just head on in
irritating.
there, guns blazing, and we were supposed to think our way through. We weren't supposed to actually just charge straight
Right.
into the battle. So that gives us time as writers and episode writers to change the story a little bit based upon what everyone's actions are, the majority actions are.
And
And a lot of that's
the good news is
Go
that
ahead, Brad.
episodes 1 and 2 have now been approved, and we're looking to release them next week, actually.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Yeah, and so everybody who was a Kickstarter backer is getting those episode 1 as for free, basically. So we'll be sending that out to be downloaded. One of the important things, though, is that we're talking about a lot about the living campaign, but there's another way of playing the game, and that is just strictly via homebrew. And you can totally just take the core rule book, read it, and create games for your friends and family and things like that. And I'm going to actually use this as a transition to Bill, who just created a brand new episode that was out of his own head. It was not part of the living campaign, right? It just is a homebrew thing that he ran for a wonderful cast of Stargate folks, right?
Yep, just finished running The Butcher of Abydos for our friend Josh from the Wyvern Discord and a handful of cast from various Stargate
It
programs.
was so great. Bill,
Yeah.
I got to watch it. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
I got so wrapped up in it when it said to be continued. I was like, no.
Seriously.
That is
Seriously.
exactly the reaction I wanted.
And it was so much fun to watch them get excited about it, especially Alexis, because he's got that connection to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What a
it was-
mean 90s trick to pull.
I said in the YouTube chat, it's the moment we love to hate.
Right.
Julie owned Rodriguez. She was
Yeah.
she was the captain of that group.
She did such a great job. And Rodriguez is a great character, by the way, guys. I mean, she just kicks ass. So
Yeah.
for anybody who hasn't checked it out yet, there are some great characters. So Bill, actually, to that point, your home brew was obviously, we all just chimed in, exciting. It was great. The cast loved it.
And that this ties great into one of the last question that popped up. How did it feel having the cast play? It was like a dream come true. It's like, I'm just an ordinary girl and I got to play with these actors, these Hollywood stars, and it's like just to see them and be able to interact with them, it was fantastic.
Yep.
So that's the fangirl in me.
Having
That's
them
what
at
we
my
all
table
are.
was a little. Knowing that it was going to happen was a little anxiety-inducing. But once I got into the GM brain,
I did
and
notice the pause of you playing Skara, talking to Skara, and it was
I
like,
saw that
who's
was,
our contact on Abydos? Oh, I have to tell them this now.
that was so good.
It was funny.
So good.
It was such
I
a good
loved it.
Yeah.
Well, and also, Bill, to that point, though, you had people. Simone is somewhat new to it, but has completely embraced playing
Yes.
D&D.
Yes.
And we met her at DayCon and had talked to her years ago about doing some more stuff, and she has just completely embraced it. She loves it. But Alexis, I mean, he's been doing this, and he is a nerd like us since probably birth or toddler. So I think you had a mix of people who were new to it, who really were diehards, and that makes it fun for us as fans to watch it, because you're identifying with cast members that you're it's a little meta, but that you're fanning over there. It is a great way for the entire game to be exposed in a way that sometimes, unless you're on Critical Role, you're not going to get D&D games that are out there like that with stars. And all of a sudden you find out that there's all these great sci-fi actors who are complete geeks like we are.
I was thinking the same thing. It's fantastic to know that's like, they're just like us.
Right? Right?
I've always found that fascinating because you can't really do what they do if you're not a geek. You have to be passionate about the things geeks are passionate about to bring the amount of work and effort and just day to day just maintenance that they have to do, to their acting craft. They can't not be geeks.
It's true. I mean, you could be a great actor and you could act that part as well. But I think, as we all know from those of us that have been to the cons throughout the years and how much these guys are dedicated to meeting the fans and talk about their own lives and how they like other sci-fi, I mean, that became very clear, Bill, in the game itself when you saw some of them get very excited about some of the connections to the show. And they got kind of giddy, and it was fun to watch them get engaged like that. And that kind of a homebrew, talk about every fan. I mean, we've got to make sure that everybody sees that game, Brad, and get it out there, and let's get it on every channel we can, because I want all the fans to see that not only can you play an existing episode or a living episode that's super cool, like it's part of the TV universe, but so many of these people like Linda and others have written massive amounts of stories that they could be playing themselves at home. How much fun is that?
Right, for sure. Absolutely.
For me, one of the big draws of getting into this game in the first place, other than the fact that I'm just super into Stargate in all its forms, SG-1 introduced so many characters that we saw once.
Right.
We know that there's a continuing relationship with them, but we only ever saw them once. So getting the chance to sit down with my home players at my home table and explore what happened to Niam after he came back to Earth to be Daniel's research assistant. Where's he now? Being able to explore some of that has been really interesting as I've been writing my home episodes.
And from a game master's perspective, it's just a nice cheap trick. If you just don't know what else to run that night, watch an episode and run the follow-up.
Absolutely. That's a really good thing. And it's actually a good way to get your players engaged, because you can actually tell them ahead of time, hey, go watch that episode with Reese.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And you're gonna use that as reference tonight in our game session.
Your episode homework for this week is.
Okay, so wait, this is a great segue. I'm going to jump to this question. I usually do this at the end, but each of you have to answer this. And Lee and Brad and Mac, this is one I actually haven't asked you guys before.
Okay.
So what episode is there? And this came from our AMA earlier, so Linda kind of has this ready to go. What episode across all three series would you have liked to continue, and would you write a game for?
Oh, geez.
Sorry, not to put you on the spot or anything.
Are we doing just one?
Just one, because we've got other questions we're going to answer. So Linda, because Linda, you and I answered that earlier. You go for it.
Go for it. Okay. My SG-1 episode is The Curse. As I said, if you were watching earlier on the Dial the Gate AMA, I love the sort of Agatha Christie overtones of it. There's this whole mystery going on and a murder, and then there's the great plot twist where the ex-girlfriend of Daniel, who you're getting to absolutely adore, suddenly turns out to be the Goa'uld.
And there's like you could go to a whole different place and write a whole game just based on what was happening in the vault or whatever you want to do. So it's cool.
And his former co-workers and then Osiris, who only showed up a couple of times.
Exactly.
She had to be off doing something.
So much there. Sam, what about you?
So I actually never thought about it.
Sorry.
I am more of a player than I am a story writer. So I get wrapped up
as a fan, you're a character.
Other people's stories.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else that wants to jump in?
I would say for me, I can't remember the name of the episode. I'm terrible with names of episodes, but it's the episode where they discover Reese and they bring her back to the base and
Menace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Menace. In the end, obviously, she's gone, but I want to know what happened to the planet. Like, they show her planet just for a few minutes. I want to do an episode of Stargate that is on that planet, rediscovering what else is on there and what other technology they had, right? And what happened to the people that created her. We assume that the replicators took care of them, but maybe there's something left.
But maybe not. I
Yeah.
mean, the Asgard could protect from certain aspects. There could have been a whole partnership that happened, right?
Yep.
That nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Bill or Matt or Lee or Mac, anybody?
I'm racking my brain, and I keep jumping between a couple that are just in no way do you need, like, they're so encapsulated, but I love their stories so much that I want to play more in them, and they do it a little. So the one that jumps to my mind first is, I think it's late season 1 or early season 2. That was early in my rewatch for the writing, so I may be wrong about where it is. Where they discovered that there was the second gate in that polar cave.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Antarctica. No, was that Antarctica or Russia?
In Antarctica. That was
Antarctica.
Solid
Yeah.
Solid
Okay.
Gates.
So okay, and I've loved that there is just always the second gate, and I've wanted its entire history and to go back with that, and I wanted to play with that in the time travel.
That would be cool.
So that it itself is the anchor. Like I've got something in my head for it that I've always wanted to play with at my table, but
I don't, that.
I don't have a what they're dealing with. I have how they get there, but I have nothing when they're there.
I like that.
Putting that together.
That's cool. Matt or Bill or Lee, what about you guys?
For me, I think it's the other side with the Urandans.
Oh, cool.
Because we know that facility got attacked at the very least, but we don't know how many people might have survived the attack. We don't know if there were other facilities on the planet. Seeing more interaction between the SGC and the Urandans, especially after the sort of morally gray choice that O'Neill makes at the end of that episode.
Right.
Seeing more of that would be really interesting to me.
That's a great one, and especially in today's day and age, with all of the globalization and moral choices, that would be great.
Yeah.
If we were doing that's not me.
I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, go for it.
I think it would be. I wanted to say the Alliance, but I think Bad Guys, the one where SG-1 is trapped in a museum.
Bad Guys would be great.
Yeah, I wish they had done more, like with diplomatic relations and going back to that planet, because it was just the character interactions that were just so fun.
Yeah. I love that one. I would love to do Satata and do a whole world building of what happened before and what kind of other people like Ronan were there. Were they, I know he becomes what he becomes because of the Wraith, but to do a whole section of Satanans that were hunters and scientists and technology. And I know that Brad and those guys had a whole offshoot that they were going to do, and we've got some of the comic books that did that, but I would love to explore that world. That would be fun.
Would be.
Lee, what about you?
I mean, that's a huge question. There's so very much. I like right away. First, my brain is R.S. Broach. Anything with him coming back because that actor was just having such a fun time with that role. He'd be a blast to bring back. But the real answer is anything with Rodney McKay. He's my favorite character. So I would like to see an entire show. Could be a role-playing game where we're actually seeing Rodney in Russia, where I think doesn't he get sent there as punishment?
Does.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
That's a sitcom that can happen there. With
3 cameras
and all of that.
Or the alternate Rodney that Sam runs into. I mean, there's so many that we could do with that. That would be great. But that's a perfect example right there, guys. We just came up with 7, 8 homebrews, and we're just fans, right? It's not talking about as a writer. We're talking as fans. These are stories we would love to see. So for every Stargate fan out there that wants to play this game, and maybe you're not a D&D player, it doesn't matter. You can come up with any idea, any continuing story, character, anything you want to do. This game is perfect for that.
Yeah, that's basically what the core rulebook does. Is it gives you the guidelines about basically how to create your own story. If you've ever had this idea of like, I wonder what happened to blah blah blah, then you can create it and play it for your friends. I mean, it's perfect and it's so much fun. And I hope that we've had 5 or 6 games that have been playing over the past 2 days. All of that's been original stuff that's come up by the folks that ran those games, and it's not as hard as it looks. I would say it looks like it might be difficult, but it really isn't. You just use your imagination. Everybody has imagination. It's like playing Army Men when you were a kid. Right.
Now we have rules to resolve. Bang! I shot that guy. No, you didn't.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I was a tomboy, so I was playing with Hot Wheels and the rest of it, not Barbies. But I'm sure there were people. But so for every little girl that was out there playing with her Wonder Woman collectibles, like I was, and running out in the street with foil wrapped forearms and doing my little twirling like Linda Carter. I think that for everybody that has, especially Stargate fans, if you think about every con that we've been to, not as gamers, so if all of you think about it as a fan, when you've been to a con or you've met somebody or you're talking about Stargate, the first thing you talk about are the stories or the characters that you love best. That's all it takes to play this game. That's it. That's all you have to know. And if you're a D&D'er that doesn't know Stargate, the core rules book is phenomenal. And there are, as you can tell from this group, die-hard Stargate experts who have contributed to this book. It is canon. It is within the TV Brad Wright universe, just so there's no issues there. Nobody's thinking, well, that didn't really happen. Although I'm sure we will start many arguments along the way over the next 10 years. But,
That's a sign of success.
Yeah.
exactly.
This is a whole new definition to headcanon that's going on here.
I want to see how many P90 conversations and arguments we can have, because that's always fun.
What's the range of a P90, Mac?
Oh my God.
I mean, it depends on the upgrades you've given it and the episode.
I mean, seriously, as someone who ran the fandoms for years and years and years, there's a limitation to how many conversations I want to have about whether or not the P90 was accurate in that particular episode, as opposed to the next episode, 10 down to where it's different. Why is it different?
Yeah.
Oh,
My limit was 4.
yeah. Or, why the Zap gun changed. But so I'm going to shift a little bit. Brad, I would love now for you to talk about the Kickstarter and what some of our add-ons are, because there's some really exciting things that are coming out for backers, and I would love for you to share them.
Absolutely. Get ready, Matt. So, first thing I want to say is that we've been working on these add-ons, and it's been really cool. I think we've come up with some really neat stuff. So I'm gonna actually share my screen real quick. Hopefully this comes through well. Ooh, I'm not sure what's showing on the stream now.
It's actually showing the dice.
It's showing the dice.
Oh, good. Excellent. That's what I wanted to show.
Those look so cool.
They're so pretty.
It looks so good.
Good.
For the chat, by the way, and I can't see any questions or comments that came.
Although I am terrified I'll step on one.
Are we sure we're seeing the dice? Because I think
Yeah.
the stream is actually showing.
Oh, I don't know. I
No,
see the dice.
No, stream is not showing the dice. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
I don't think it
they're
was.
gorgeous. You guys should see these. These are great.
You did share screen?
Hold
Aren't
on.
we fun?
Hold on. We got this.
We
I
can
got
do
it.
charades. So
I got
they
it.
look like this.
Trying.
For those who know their math rocks, the D4 is particularly brutal.
yeah, that looks more like a caltrop than most D4s.
Oh, scary. Come on. For those of us who are starting over again and haven't played D&D in 10 years, it's like, what?
What I like about these is it's going to be really easy to pick them up. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I have a hard time picking up dice because they're, I got big
Wait,
fat
can they
fingers,
see
I
it
guess.
now?
I'm
Or am I
not
gonna talk-
sure if they can or not.
They were there for a second.
Once again,
I think the screen went black. This is not working at all.
Oh, no.
Stop messing up me seeing the chat.
All right, we're going to try this a different way. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold
well,
on to your
you know what?
hats.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Sam, are there some questions that we can answer while we're figuring out?
Not yet. It's mostly just chit chat.
Okay, great. So what I will do is I will
Oh,
go over to Matt. So
They're
Matt
on the
can
stream now.
Yay! There
Nice.
we are.
Oh, they just left. I have the
I
stream
bet-
open in another window,
I
and they
bet
just
there's-
left.
I bet there's a lag.
Yeah,
There's
there's a slight
sometimes
lag.
on Dial the Gate. So
Yeah,
just
there's-
leave it up and keep talking.
Matt, why don't you talk about?
No, we
what-
got it. We got it. So here are the
Okay.
dice. you guys should be seeing them any moment now. Well, y'all let me know when they're there. It should be any second.
I see them. You guys? I
We
see
can
them
see
on
them
All right, cool.
on the stream at least. Yeah, they can
All
see them.
All right, the dice. Woo. So, this was
So
a
let's
labor.
do it again. Woohoo! They look great.
This
Yay!
was a labor of love, coming up with these and doing the 3D models for these and getting them all the way through production. It's been a big hit, and a lot of people, I will actually say, back the project just for these dice, because they're so amazing. And you're right, I would not want to step on that D4 for sure. So next up, we have the determination chips. This is a new mechanic that is part of the game where you're able to bet, so to speak. Is Mac, you describe it.
Oh, well, determination basically it functions as the resource players spend when they're doing social encounters.
Yeah.
One of the things Stargate does is we don't just put the challenges mechanically in combats. They're also part of the social encounters. So you might have to convince a judge to not make your scientist do trial by combat, or you might have to convince a guard to let you pass, or a senator not to cut funding to a pet project. There's all kinds of things where you might just have to convince somebody of something, and sometimes that's done on the fly. Sometimes that's part of the game. You might use them during diplomatic encounters or all kinds of different things. And so they kind of function not like hit points, where when hit points are drained, you're unconscious. They function more as a wagering mechanic to see how involved your character is in the scene and how much they can kind of push their luck without, breaking the tension.
Right.
Yep, that's great.
And it creates a strategic and a tactical element to these, to the social interactions we want to create. And it's also really important because it pads it out for the player enough so that they get to write how their character is doing it. And that's especially important if you're not, a professional actor who's used to kind of winging it like that.
Right. Well, and actually, can you talk about the Moxie? Because for somebody who was an old D&D nerd and then had a dormant period, for lack of a better word, and has come back into it, the Moxie, as Brad knows, I get kind of hooked on. It's kind of my thing. If you could talk a little bit about that, because I think that that's a really fun addition to this, and especially for Stargate fans, it works really well in how you want to play.
The secret truth there is that's really a problem-solving tool. One of the problems that the machine of 5th edition has, and that all D20 editions has, is as a designer, you have to watch out for what's called monostat, where a character who is intelligent is good at everything, right? If you've been playing role-playing games a while, some systems kind of weigh intelligence or charisma or dexterity too much. Right. So Moxie is our answer to that. So while in a combat scene, you might use your wisdom or your dexterity to determine how fast you act in a round. In a social scene, in a plot-driven scene, you'll use your Moxie, which is based on either your charisma or your intelligence. And it just means that characters of different stripes are now good at different things, and that there's a lot of places that these things might interplay, because you never know your person who has to do the diplomatizing that game or that during that episode might not be someone who's good at it, so now they have to lean on their other strengths, and it creates a lot of mechanical interplays and makes a lot of characters more viable.
And that they can play together, to go back to your point, that it allows for the group to play together, where you don't just have that one leader that's out in front and doing, or honestly, delineating how the game's going to go. You have more group interaction and team interaction, which fits the entire Stargate theme as it is too.
One of the guys I talked to a lot while working on it was my cousin, who was a sergeant in the Air Force. I felt like his real life experience made there's an easy jump there, right?
Yep.
And he described it, the way he described it is, in a game session, sometimes it's very clear who the civilian contract lead is that's in charge of figuring something out, like what this device does, and who the military lead is.
Right.
When the bullets start flying, the soldier's like, all right, you get to that cover, you get to that, I need cover from this ridge. Like they jump right into that command role, and it's fun to allow that at the table for more than one player to shine.
It really is. And Brad, I'm going to say this now. I don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but there is a possibility that we will be able to get a Air Force game going. So
Oh,
I'm
that'd be
working on
awesome.
that. So for everybody to know, I'm crossing my fingers for Gen Con, but we'll see. I don't know if it can happen, but that's what I'm trying to do so we can get a really fun group of Air Force fly boys to come and fly boys and women to come and play D&D with us.
That would be fantastic for sure. Yeah, we would really like that a lot because I mean, obviously Stargate is really a lot of Air Force background, and I know that they were heavy consultants in the series just in general. So
I actually had just because this will make you guys laugh, I had an inquiry from one of the Space Force liaisons. So maybe we'll pull in a group of different people.
yeah,
See how it goes.
yeah, for
We'll get
sure.
NASA, we'll get Air Force, we'll get the Marines,
That would be
a
so
couple of
cool.
Stars.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I know it'd be fun.
I actually interviewed a fan on Discord who is a Marine to get some more insight about what
It
like.
is
So
the
yeah,
best.
so really great insight I got from them.
Yep.
It really is amazing, and I think every fan who's watching and all of you guys know is that at every single con I've ever been at, some of the most cool people that I've talked to are the ones that have come up in younger generation now who've said, so this is my favorite, I'm an astrophysicist with the Air Force, and I'm like, holy crap, you know, I'm a digital marketer. I feel like the stupidest person in the room right now.
Oh no.
But
It's different skill sets. It's fine.
It is. Yeah, up here, but but you know what? Those are the most fun. Are the fans that come up who say that either they were in the military and stumbled across it, or went into the military, or at JPL or NASA because of Stargate. I cannot tell you. I've got a list that's literally 60 people long that I've met over the years of people who have done that. Shout out to William Murphy. I just think that there are so many amazing fans that we can be talking to, Lee, that you've talked to, that maybe we'll expand our game and do a whole Gen Con military track. It'd be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the thing I want to announce, this is the exclusive that I've been hinting at for a little while. We have a final approved version of map tiles
Ooh.
for the Phoenix site base.
I'm so excited.
I know. So first of all, I'm going to show them to you. Here we go.
They're awesome, by the way. Wait till y'all see them.
So yeah, the stream, you'll have to wait for the stream to catch up, but I'm going to start describing it. So this is actually floor 0. So this is the entrance to the Phoenix site base from the mountain that is it's actually Langdon Peak, which is the it's named after the person who discovered the Stargate initially. Is the mountain that the Phoenix site is built in, and you have the entrance here where you have the guards that are waiting to come in. You have the bay where you have your Freds and your Malps. Back here you've got some meeting rooms, you've got some storage rooms. You got some bathrooms. Actually, we modeled some bathrooms. And then we've actually got some elevators back here and some stairs. So this is floor.
This is the first time I'm seeing it. I am so excited.
This is floor 0, if you will. So then it goes down, right? So the next one is floor -1. So this is the main living quarters, if you will. So you have the barracks area, you have the workout area, you have the rec room area, you have the cafeteria, you have the kitchen, more bathrooms, and then you have the VIP area in particular, right? And of course, you still have your elevators. So the big elevators for the Malps and things like that, so you can get those down into the base. Floor -2, we start to get into some really cool stuff. We have the main control center here in the middle. We have general lawyer's office right here. We obviously, this is the gate room is a two floor area. So you're actually looking down onto the bottom floor here, but because this is sticking up into the next one.
So kind of Kind of like SG-1 type idea? where you
Exactly,
look
yep.
down? Okay.
Over here on this side, this is the actual briefing room. Back here we have the actually this is a holding cell,
Oh, cool.
and then over here we have some
Ah,
storage, and this is kind of a observation room, and then more bathrooms, which is kind of funny. We're actually modeling some bathrooms, which is something you're like, where are the bathrooms? You never see the bathrooms on the show, right?
It is the running joke in SG-1, so
Yeah.
I love the fact that you guys actually have it. Matt, that is just gorgeous.
Yes, yeah. This is all Matt's work that he's been doing with us, and it's been phenomenal work that he's been doing. So the final floor, this is floor -3. So this is the room that the gate room's actually on. Then what's right behind that? Well, some more bathrooms. And then you have the infirmary back here. And then over here on the bottom down here, this is the armory, and then of course you have a shooting range that's part of all this.
Nice.
So
This is amazing.
that is the version that we're going to be sending out to our backers. This was part of one of the add-ons as part of the Kickstarter was a map tile set. And
Perfect for those aforementioned bottle episodes.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Now, we like to reuse a lot of our assets for multiple things. So when we do that, we like to do things in 3D. So, Matt, would you do the honors and walk us through the Phoenix base?
Sure. Do you want to start from the gate or from the top?
Let's start from the top, if you
Top.
would.
Okay.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
See if we can get this right this time.
It's telling me the host has disabled screen sharing.
All right, hold on. Try it now. Try it now. The anticipation is killing people.
Oh, it's perfect though. We should have music in the background.
There we go.
Okay, so I just lost the YouTube again.
Yep. Wait a second.
Is that showing up?
We see a black screen currently.
Okay.
Oh,
There we go. How's that?
yep, yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Holy
Okay,
moly.
And can they see it on YouTube?
Yeah, they should be able to.
I was gonna say because right now, all the Zoom just like took over my entire screen, so
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, it is. It took a couple seconds to start showing up. There is a tiny time lag between popping it up on the screen and it showing.
So if there's anyone on YouTube who has any questions or comments that you want us to answer, as of right now, I can't see them. So put them in the Discord for WonderCon, and I'll take care of them from there.
All right.
It's gorgeous.
So again, this is we're using this. So what the really cool thing about doing it this way is that we're able to basically position a camera and take shots of certain things so that we can use them in other materials, right? So this is Matt. I'll let you describe it. This is the outside of the base.
Yeah, so this is starting outside with the kind of security gates and blast doors. And like this model is one of the best things in terms of like sheer joy that I've ever made, like as a Stargate fan. And like just flying the camera in here every time I can like hear the theme music playing.
Rightly so, man. This is amazing.
Looks so good.
Yeah, this there was some really good concept art that you guys provided.
Mm-hmm.
And like just trying to match that as close as possible with these security booths. So you can actually go inside if you wanted to. We've got computers, Fred's.
Done at all three of us getting together at Brad's house with stuff, adult beverages and stuff and
drawing maps. It was great.
I like it.
Oh, did you just open that door?
I love the doors opening.
So this road, by the way, if you went the other direction, goes to the town of Haven, which is another map that is currently under development.
Yeah, if you, with the way that the models are set up, if you merged the in development map and this map, they would actually almost line up. So you could, in theory, make like a large open world if you ever wanted to. But
There he goes. Open the doors.
I love it.
yeah, so once we get inside, we've got this kind of large hangar staging area where we've got those elevators you guys were talking about. Got some Fred parking spots here with those classic early SG-1 Freds with the little headlights.
Yeah.
That's great.
I
The broken.
love this.
This is the repair area.
Somebody on YouTube was asking about seeing the motor pool, so
There he is.
there you go.
There you go. Yeah, what's cool is, like I said, we can now position a camera somewhere and take a picture of that. Then that can become an asset that we use in adventures and books and things like that. So
I just want the guard shack. That
Guard shack simulator people are talking about.
Yeah, I see that. That's amazing.
I think that's called Papers, Please.
Yeah.
Glory to our Stotska.
all right, take us to the gate room. We got to just go to the gate room. Let's get there.
Okay. We'll just turn that on.
Excuse me.
Okay, that should do it. So hop in an elevator
Oh, you're
And
actually gonna
then,
hop in the elevator?
Oh,
as much
so
as I
cool.
can. Oh,
That was great.
if it'll let me. Come on.
Come on.
Sometimes it does not get happy with the amount of stuff I ask it to do at once.
Yeah,
Um,
it's overloaded.
Now, just to be clear, for all the people watching, the tiles that I showed from the start, when I first started showing the top-down views, those are the map tiles that we'll be distributing, not the entire base 3D assets. So
Yes.
It sounds like there's demand, though, Brad.
there might be. I mean,
I think there will
I
be.
want it. I'll pay money.
we could talk about it. Oh,
there we go.
you're on the shooting range now, apparently.
There's the
Okay.
gate.
Oh,
I love the
it.
fly over. It just you see how much stuff is there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 I know because this looks like a clean military base, but when you're up above, you're like, no, this looks lived in.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There
So-
we are. With the
Yay!
gate room.
Oh. So good.
That is
See.
amazing.
There we go. So that's our full SGC style gate room.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we've got kind of a whole hallway set up and flow, kind of like they did in the SGC, where you can come in from the elevators on one side, go into the gate, or you can come out of the gate, exit the other side, and drop off your firearms at the
At the armory.
armory. Yeah.
Played what we used to call the arcade game, video arcades. Because that's what they were they were old arcade props, video game props.
Oh. Yeah.
I love the defunct equipment in the hallway.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a vending machine.
I know.
All
All right.
so they can come, drop off their weapons, proceed to the washrooms.
That was the armory.
Let's show a Stargate bathroom. Yes.
They actually exist. That is awesome.
Clearly the men.
Clearly the men's room. I'm not sure where the women's room is. Somewhere else.
Got stalls. It's unisex. Who cares?
Yeah, and then we got
I'm from California. That is fantastic.
And then once you head through the washrooms, if you need them, we've got a quarantine inspection area. So you can get checked over by medical staff if you need to be. You can quarantine safely.
That is amazing. Matt, this is gorgeous.
and then you can. Oh, thank you. Yeah, then you can go into the infirmary if anyone's injured off on their missions. Yeah,
That's great.
This is,
Thank you,
this is
Matt.
so
Thank you for
cool.
sharing that. If you could
yeah.
unshare at this point, I guess.
Okay.
So
And
this is just an
Fantastic.
example of the stuff that we've been doing behind the scenes and the work that goes behind putting together, because we want top-notch stuff, and this is an example of the work that's done in between now and then. I don't know, Matt is still sharing. I don't know if you can make it stop.
I'm not actually sure how to.
you should
Stop.
be
Tell
allowed
There
her
we
to
go.
This is
stop.
how we live.
There we
now.
go.
I got it.
Thank you.
I clicked the button. It made it stop.
Oh.
So,
But Stargate fans ourselves, we wouldn't put out something that we're not happy that would be part of SGC. So
exactly.
this is
And
a labor of
I don't know if y'all noticed the pictures behind me and Sam in particular, but both of these are pictures that, for example, this is General Lawyer's office, and Sam's in the gate control room, right?
yes.
Yep. So this is just an example of like, now that we have these 3D assets, we can just take these amazing pictures of these scenes that can just make your imagination go crazy. So.
I like the era appropriate computers in the background.
Yes, you like the CRT here?
Uh-huh. Nice.
2003.
Now I'm working on a flat screen going, oh, right, that's what I had, that ginormous clunky thing.
Yep.
One of my
Looking-
playtesters is 15 and did not understand what we were describing.
Oh, completely. I was trying to describe something that we had in one of the early productions, well, kind of like the video arcade props, right? Where Kenny literally just used some old video arcade games as the props to hollow them out and make them look military. And somebody didn't know what I was talking about. One of the kids was like, what was that? I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
Oh no. That's funny.
It's all good. Hey, so Brad, we're coming up on an hour, so I do want to make sure that you've been able to talk about all of the highlights and the features and what's coming up for the rest of the year for Wyvern Gaming and what specifically for the RPG.
Yeah. So obviously all this stuff that's in development will be coming out very soon. The digital stuff in particular you'll probably see first. So the map tiles, as Matt gets them completed, we'll and we get them approved, we're gonna get them done. So the Phoenix site base is actually approved at this point, so that's gonna be something that we send out here shortly. The episodes are coming next week is what we're talking about, and then we have the the PDF of the core rulebook hopefully by the end of April. Other digital things that we have, I'm trying to think what they might be.
Well, CCI has asked everybody to come back for, there's two, I don't know if everybody knows, but San Diego Comic-Con has announced virtual at home for July for San Diego, and then an in-person in November. So you have formally been asked to come back. So I'm asking you
Here we
to
are.
come back for that for sure.
Yep.
And then I know LA Comic-Con has also asked you for December of this year.
There you go. So we're gonna be busy, and also we have Gen Con, which I understand has been pushed to. They plan on doing a physical event in Indianapolis in September. It's the week of I think it's September 16th for 4 days. So that's probably gonna be likely where the book premieres. I think
That'd be great.
yeah, because that's going to be a huge event. So we're really looking forward to that, and hopefully by then we'll also have some more of the living episodes available and out at that point. So
Okay,
there's
cool.
a lot going on, so
Yeah.
a lot to be
This year's
excited
gonna
about.
be busy.
Yes, for sure. So thank you guys. This has been fantastic, and we could not have done this without you and all the people that's been part of this project. It's been fantastic. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Wyvern Gaming's
Thank
heart.
everybody for this weekend. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here for WonderCon for the weekend. It's been great, and it's just CCI is really, really happy. We had so many fans come through, so thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Bye, guys.